Hello. After watching this MIT OpenCourseWare lecture, I learned a lot of new information regarding social movements. This video discussed what social movements are, the different ways that they work, how they are different from other policymakers, and what impact they have on others in the society. The professor discusses how the best way to understand social movements is by thinking of certain social movement examples. Some of these examples include the civil rights movement, the environmental movement, as well as the anti-fracking movement. The professor also discusses how in social movements, membership isn't well defined. Social movements tend to be on the margins of the system and tend to engage in non-routine actions. When you think about it, it's hard to tell who exactly was part of these social movements since membership is usually unclear, as it's usually a large group of people. The video also discusses how social movements change pretenses as well as demonstrate and raise salience. And in the video, salience is described as any issue that you are aware of and an issue that's important to you. So salience only works also if people are in agreement with you in the movement. Next, the professor goes on to talk about how social movements need to direct or persuade policymakers to act. They need to provide information to policymakers to show that a majority of voters feel strongly about an issue. They need to change the public's preference, often by reframing an issue, change how it is understood. They also need to raise an issue to salience, like I said earlier, which only works if the public is in agreement. And lastly, social movements influence implementation in order to make people aware of the movement. Social movements need to be nonviolent, and it needs to be a call to action to demonstrate that you care. He talks about how nowadays people just send emails to Congress instead of actually getting out there and acting for the problem. Emails don't show that you care as much, and it doesn't make the problem seem as important. He also mentions how people involved need to be passionate about the social movement, or else it's not going to work if the people there don't want to be involved in the movement. So after watching this video, I learned a lot about environmental social movements in particular. I first learned that environmental movements have successes as well as failures and problems like most movements do, but that the policy alone doesn't drive the environment, but strong environmental movements can drive the policy. And the second thing I learned is that environmental movements can work through lobbying, public opinion, individual attitudes, or a Green Party, and that it is easy to measure the impact of environmental movements as well.